Hello cutie, and welcome back to Zoe's Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we're stepping away from the corporate towers into the shimmering, sometimes deceptive world of online fame. Settle in, let your fingers uncurl from your phone, and allow yourself to relax as we uncover the truth behind Snow White lies. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next story. Once upon a time, in a world saturated with filters and curated perfection, lived a young woman named Snow White. She wasn't a princess by birth, but she was certainly a queen of authenticity. Snow White was a rapidly rising social media influencer, known not for her meticulously posed selfies, but for her genuine smile, her sparkling eyes and content that celebrated the messy, beautiful reality of life. She baked slightly burnt cookies, showed off her morning bed head, and talked openly about her love for cozy sweaters. Her followers, starved for realness, adored her. Her engagement rates were soaring. Her authenticity score was off the charts, and her digital footprint was growing by the minute. Meanwhile, in her penthouse overlooking the sprawling cityscape, Queen Ravenna seethed. Queen Ravenna was the undisputed titan of the beauty and wellness industry. Her empire was built on serums that promised eternal youth, detox teas that guaranteed a flawless physique, and a meticulously crafted online persona that was flawless. She was a woman of icy elegance, razor-sharp cheekbones, and an unshakable belief in her own supreme reign. Her magic mirror wasn't a piece of enchanted glass, but a massive, holographic AI display that projected real-time global analytics. It updated constantly, showing trending topics, beauty scores, and, most importantly, influencer rankings. Every morning, with a perfectly manicured hand, Queen Ravenna would activate it. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most viral of them all? AI mirror replied. Query acknowledged Queen Ravenna. Global beauty analytics are stable. Your digital footprint remains substantial. However, a new trend is emerging. Organic engagement for Snow White is currently statistically surpassing yours. Queen Ravenna's perfectly arched brow twitched. Surpassing mine? Impossible. My anti-aging serum just broke 2 billion sales. My morning green juice detox is endorsed by 3 Kardashians. AI Mirror said, data indicates authenticity and relatability are gaining traction. Snow White's average daily screen time is 4.7 hours. Your average is 12.3. Her content is unfiltered. Yours is optimized. The Queen's jaw tightened. Unfiltered, optimized. She scoffed. Optimized is perfection, mirror. This Snow White is a glitch in the algorithm. She must be removed. Queen Ravenna knew exactly who to call. Her trusted head of digital discretion, a man named Hunter. Hunter was a former paparazzi now specializing in discreet digital takedowns and reputation management. He could find dirt on anyone and make it go viral in minutes. Queen Ravenna called him, "Hunter, darling, there's a particularly irritating fly in my digital ointment. Her name is Snow White. I want her gone permanently. Find her dirty laundry. Find her bad angles. Find anything that will make her authenticity look like a lie." Hunter, a man with a surprisingly soulful gaze hidden behind his camera lens, nodded. He was a professional, but he always felt a pang of unease when the Queen targeted someone genuinely harmless. He began his surveillance. He tracked Snow White's posts, her stories, her public appearances. What he found wasn't dirt, but genuine charm and a surprising vulnerability. He saw her helping an elderly woman with groceries, laughing freely, even snorting a little sometimes. She was real, too real to ruin. He found her at a local farmer's market, filming a segment about organic produce. He aimed his long lens, his finger hovering over the shutter button, but he couldn't do it. Later that evening, he sent Snow White an anonymous, encrypted message. The message said, "Snow White, listen carefully. You're in danger. Queen Ravenna has targeted you. She wants to cancel you, erase your online presence, go dark, go offline. Don't post anything. Don't trust any packages. Seek refuge where Wi-Fi is weak and the algorithms can't find you. Your authenticity is your strength, but it's also your vulnerability right now." Snow White stared at the message, her heart pounding. She initially thought it was a prank, but the details, it felt too real. She looked around her sleek apartment, filled with ring lights and backdrops. The digital world that had given her so much was suddenly feeling suffocating, dangerous. She needed to disappear. She grabbed a small bag filled with essentials. No makeup, no equipment, just her sketchbook and a very old flip phone. She hailed an Uber, inputting the coordinates from another anonymous hint in Hunter's message. A remote nature preserve known for its terrible cell service. Snow White traveled deep into the woods, eventually finding a clearing with a most unusual dwelling. It wasn't a cottage, but a large, rustic jig cabin, constructed with repurposed tech parts, solar panels glinting in the sun, and a satellite dish that looked like a giant mushroom. This was the home of the Seven Streamers, a collective of tech geniuses who specialized in niche digital pursuits, far from the madding crowds of mainstream social media. They were a quirky bunch, each with their own unique digital obsession and charming personality. There was Doc, the brilliant lead coder, whose glasses were always slipping down his nose. Grumpy, the cynical cybersecurity expert who muttered about digital sheeple. Happy, a perpetually optimistic drone pilot who filmed nature documentaries. Sleepy, a meditation app developer who often nodded off mid-sentence. Bashful, a shy but incredibly talented AI artist. Sneezy, a data analyst with a perpetual allergy to poor data hygiene, and Dopey, a lovable but easily distracted gamer whose headset was practically glued to his ears. They welcomed Snow White, intrigued by her sudden, dramatic digital detox. They immediately recognized the signs of a high-level digital attack and offered her a safe haven. Doc said, "Welcome, Snow White. Heard you needed a hard reset. Our servers are offline, but our hospitality is 24/7. Grumpy said, "Just try not to bring any of that influencer nonsense in here. No filters, no hashtags, real food, real air. You might actually enjoy it." Dopey said, "Wanna play retro arcade games? We've got Pong." Snow White found herself surprisingly at peace. She learned to forage, to code basic programs, and to truly breathe without the pressure of an audience. She even picked up a bit of Grumpy's dry wit. She was off the grid, digitally cleansed, and felt more herself than ever before. But Queen Ravenna was relentless. Her AI mirror kept taunting her with Snow White's lingering authentic influence, even when she was offline. AI mirror said, "Snow White's last post is still trending. Her absence is generating buzz. Paradoxically, her offline status is increasing her legendary status." Queen Ravenna said, "Her absence? This is intolerable. She must be truly gone." Queen Ravenna, disguised as an elderly wellness consultant, complete with a fake green juice empire logo, managed to track Snow White through a single, tiny data packet she'd unknowingly left behind. She arrived at the 7 streamers' cabin carrying a basket of seemingly innocent digital detox goodies. Queen Ravenna said, "Hello, my dear. I'm from Pure Living Wellness. I heard you're on a detox, and I have just the thing to help you truly disconnect." She offered Snow White a shimmering, iridescent wellness shot in a sleek, frosted bottle. Queen Ravenna said, "It's a proprietary blend. Just one sip, and you'll achieve ultimate tranquility, a deep, lasting peace." She winked with a cold gleam in her eye. Snow White, remembering Hunter's warning about packages, was hesitant, but the Queen's disguise was convincing, and the promise of ultimate tranquility was tempting. She took a sip. The liquid was surprisingly sweet, with a hint of something earthy, but as it went down, a profound drowsiness washed over her. Her eyes fluttered, her body went limp, and she slipped into a deep, dreamless sleep. Her online presence, already minimal, completely vanished. The 7 streamers, returning from mountain trekking, found her unresponsive. Doc said, "She's not breathing right. She's in a deep, deep sleep, like a coma." Grumpy said, "That blasted queen, I bet it's her. Nothing good ever comes from wellness shots from strangers." They laid her gently on a data server rack, encased in glass for protection, unable to revive her. Her online legacy, now completely dark, became a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones across the internet. Snow White, cancelled, gone offline for good. But not everyone believed the lies. Ethan Vance, the genuine tech mogul and philanthropist, had been drawn to Snow White's authentic content for months. He appreciated her realness in a sea of fakery. When she disappeared, he felt a void. His personal algorithms, unlike Queen Ravenna's, were programmed for truth and genuine connection. He started investigating quietly. Using his immense resources, he followed the digital breadcrumbs, the anonymous tips, even a hushed whisper about a wellness consultant and a remote cabin. Ethan Vance found the cabin, nestled deep in the digital quietness of the woods. He found the 7 quirky streamers, their faces grim. He found Snow White, still and peaceful, encased in her glass-encased server bed. Ethan Vance said, "Snow White, I know the truth. I know about the lies, and I'm here to bring you back." He didn't just offer a literal kiss. He did something far more profound. He pulled out a sleek, secure device, connected it to the cabin satellite, and began to work. He used his influence, his tech prowess, and his genuine belief in her. He launched a massive, ethical counter-campaign, exposing Queen Ravenna's digital manipulation, her fake products, and her attempts to silence authenticity. He shared Snow White's story, not with filters, but with raw, unvarnished truth. He created a movement called #UncancelSnowWhite. As he worked, a soft light began to emanate from Snow White's server bed. Her lips, which had been still for so long, parted slightly. Her eyelids fluttered. She slowly opened her eyes, looking directly at Ethan Vance. Snow White said, "Ethan Vance, you found me." Her voice was soft, a little rusty, but full of wonder. Ethan Vance said, "Truth always finds a way, and some connections are too real to ever truly be cancelled." He offered her a hand, ready to log back in on your own terms this time. And so, my dears, Snow White didn't just wake up. She woke up stronger, wiser, and more authentic than ever. She returned to the online world not as Queen Ravenna's rival, but as a beacon of genuine connection. Queen Ravenna's empire crumbled under the weight of her own lies, exposed by the very analytics she once worshipped. And Snow White and Ethan Vance, their connection, forged in digital silence and real-world truth, blossomed into something truly special. The moral of this story, my dear, isn't about finding a prince. It's about knowing your own truth in a world full of filters. It's about logging off when you need to and remembering that sometimes the most profound connections happen offline. So, as you drift off to sleep tonight, perhaps you'll dream of digital detoxes, authentic connections, and the sweet victory of truth. Let your mind wander. Let your body sink deeper into your mattress, and know that you are safe, secure, and wonderfully, deliciously asleep. Sweet dreams.